New Zoom whiteboard. Okay.
Oh, is Kenny back? I think he demoed that last week.
All right. There's that. And nobody's here. We're all alone. There's Art. Here comes Art. Art is talking, but I don't hear Art.
He
Don't
bad.
hear me?
There you are.
How's it going?
All right. How are you doing?
This app will no longer officially be supported August 2022. Please use Zoom for Chrome PWA. That was the Zoom Chrome. They're gonna support dump. Please wait, the meeting host will be with you shortly. Oh, here you go, Art. Look at this.
What's that?
That is
Looks like a tablet to me.
It's a solar cell.
It's a solar cell.
Yes. And you see this?
Oh, cool. So that's used to charge up the battery in the camera?
Yeah, let's keep it charged. You charge it up with a USB cable and then you take it out and set it up. And it should last forever.
So it is sufficiently weatherproof that the solar cell can be out in the rain and so forth and so on?
Yeah, well, solar cells typically are, because you assume they're going to be outside.
Well, that's probably a safe assumption. But the point is that the cabling and so forth is all sealed and whatnot.
Yeah,
Okay, cool. Does it have mounting brackets or?
it's got various mounting things. This one, wherever the camera is, this one is a kind of tacky one, but they have brass fitting here, a brass socket here like camera, and they have a mount. They've got actually have two mounting kits. You got a screw in the back and a screw in the bottom, the standard camera screw. And it's also got a strap to mount it around a tree.
Okay. So the camera screw is the 1/4 or 3/8 screw, because there are two standard camera screws.
That's the only one I'm aware of. I've always said it's a standard size, looks like a 1/4 inch, I'm guessing. Oh, you got the light on.
I got the light to come on.
How'd you do that?
My
I
hand
don't
was
know.
just in front of it and suddenly the light came on. It's
This one has a spotlight on it.
very bright.
This is the very latest super
off.
duper. This is the latest. It's a 4 meg
Turn off.
wire free.
Turn off. I know
And-
how to get it to turn off.
Yeah, I just got it yesterday, took it out of the box today. And it's super easy to set up. You know, take a picture of the square and then boom.
Yeah, so that's the same as the Wise cameras. You have a code square that you just
Yep.
point the camera at or point your cell phone at, and everything, they talk to each other and bing, bang, boom, all of a sudden it's on your network.
Yep. You have to put in, have to put in your router and password.
I think it really needs to be dark because
But you can turn it off in the software.
Yeah, with all of them, you're going to have to put your key in.
And it's PIR. Yeah, you take a picture of the key and then it takes a picture of your phone, the key on your phone. So it's both ways. It's pretty, and then you can share that code to someone else.
Yeah.
I see the mount here. Where's the mount on the bottom at?
It's under the cover, isn't there one there?
No,
Oh, I
There's an
thought there was
SD.
one down there.
there's an SD card and a on and off switch.
Oh, okay, it's just on the back then.
It's just on the back, so you need a
So,
tripod.
so they must have some way of
Screw off.
sealing up the SD card so it doesn't get water in it, right?
Yeah, it's got a,
It's, I
got
would
a-
call it water resistant, not exactly waterproof.
Okay,
Of course, if it's sitting like this, water would really have to be doing something to go around and down and into the SD card.
what's the max size SD card will take?
I think 256.
Oh, that's nice,
Yeah,
because if that way you can record a lot of stuff without having to swap it out or rewrite it. Can you download from the SD card
yeah,
wirelessly, or must you take the SD card out to download?
you can download from the SD card. It uses the standard Reolink software that everything else uses.
Okay. How much?
75 bucks.
Does that include the solar cell or not?
Yeah, it's a used. They're a little over 100, I think, new. It's the Argus. This is the Argus 3. This is the latest. This is the latest.
Okay.
To a 4 meg camera.
Autofocus, I assume.
Yeah, they're all the same. One focus.
I would assume that if you leave that light on very long, that's going to kill the battery life, I would think.
It goes off automatically.
It looked to me like, because it came on and then I did something and it went off. It looked to me like it'll turn itself on and off, and I can feel the relay. There's like a little click in there.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it turns off after 180 seconds if nothing changes. It's
Okay.
You could hear it. It was clicking back and forth like there might be a little relay in there or something to do it.
Now, these are wire free, so yeah, you're not gonna have anything that stays on, and it doesn't transmit the picture all the time. It's just on demand and when it's triggered. So Kenny's got one that he paid, 160 for, 165 for a ring version.
Now, this came from Amazon, or where'd you buy it?
You can get them, man. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them on eBay. It's a standard Reolink. It's an Argus 3.
Okay.
And having said that, I got some driveway activity today.
Oh, yeah? Somebody
got-
come up and take a leak on your driveway again?
No, but there are other activities of interest.
And if you actually get what this solar panel says, at max, it's going to be a 1.8 amps output,
At 5 volts,
6 volts,
6 volts, okay.
3.2 watts, max power, maximum power. So
Okay.
at maximum, it's going to be 1.8 amps. So I was thinking this might actually be able to be used to power like a small Arduino project. At least charge the battery for a small.
But that's in the
Arduino
middle of the
project.
desert. That's pointed directly at the sun too.
Yes.
That's
We
rating.
don't really know how.
We don't have
efficient-
any deserts and we have a lot of clouds.
Well, we don't really know how efficient that's going to be, do we?
So this has standard kind of connectors on them, USB-C or USB.
It's, what is that? The micro, the mini, the micro? It's the micro.
Is it a C or?
No, it's the micro.
It's just a micro, standard micro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you could take that solar cell and attach it to anything that has a micro connector on it.
Yeah.
Well, at least in theory.
In theory, I wouldn't be doing it through my phone. No, I plugged into my USB port at home and plugged my USB into the phone, into the camera to charge it up last night. And this morning, the green light was on. Last night, the red light was on.
Okay. You have any idea what the battery capacity is on the camera?
It's, I think it's 5 amp hours for the battery.
Charging voltage is 5 or 9 volts. LiPo, 3.7 volts, 19.2 watt hours.
19.2 watt hours.
Yeah. What would that work out to?
I assume that's not your car there, Jim.
Nope, that is my driveway though.
Well, I recognize that.
And that's not my van. Hello, van. How are you today?
Hello. I'm getting out of my car to look and see what you're doing. No, I'm getting back in because I see all the cameras. Now I'm running on. What? You just have random people show up in your driveway all
There
the
he
time,
is.
don't you?
There he is. He walked around to the other side. And there's the trucks that go by.
Oh, yeah. So what's this guy doing anyway?
Yeah, he just got out, walked to the other side of the car and walked back in, got back in the car. Okay, and now we're gonna load the next frame. These are all downloaded from my Reolink camera. Okay, and download the next one. It's loaded. There goes another truck. Oh, he has his lights on.
Well, he's flashing his lights.
Yeah. There may not be any audio with this because he set off his burglar alarm. And that's what finally woke me up.
Okay.
It was going walk, walk, and there is me going after her and saying, "How you doing?" And that's when he decided maybe it's time to leave.
Why are you here?
And I happen to have the reinforcements in my pocket.
That's a Glock 9mm or what?
38 special.
Problem with 38 special is you got to be right on top of whoever you're shooting at.
And that's right. I don't ever intend to shoot anybody with a handgun more than 10 feet away. No. That's what handguns are for.
Yeah.
Close up. If you want to shoot one at 20 feet, you're stupid. You get 20, 30 feet away, you're not going to hit them. I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And me and my brother proved that. And the actual, we found out that the actual revolvers were more accurate, much more accurate than a automatic. And he had a Glock, and we had a 38, And the 38 just beat the pants off the Glock.
Really?
Yeah.
That was what caliber Glock was it? Like a 9mm or what?
It was a 9. It was, yeah. I know I did see it. I did get it wasn't a Glock. It was a Sig Sauer. Went to the shooting range and they said you get to shoot any gun with the Gale's coupon. We know how that is. And we got a Sig Sauer. Now that little baby had little neon indicators on it, and it was significantly more accurate than the standard sights. I was impressed. But that's a Sig Sauer. That means money. Sig and Sauer means money, and Sauer means money.
So this had a laser sight on it?
It didn't have a laser sight. It had some neon like I think it was on the tip, and on the sight there were like 4 dots, and you could really get a good sight on what you were shooting at. Yeah, I was impressed.
Okay.
Not enough to buy one.
Yeah.
They probably put it up there in the same range as a 38 revolver. They probably put it up in the same accuracy range. We were impressed.
So the SIG goes for what? Couple of K?
I don't know. It's the way they acted when I said I want to use that one, and you said I could use any one. I want to use that one, and they didn't really want to do it. And it sounded like they were particular about the ammo that they put in it too. So yeah. All I know is out of my price range. A 38 special is expensive enough. That's going to hit you a couple of $100.
So you can't bring your own handgun. Basically, they provide the guns.
Well, the coupon that Gail got, if you knew Gail, you'd say absolutely there was a coupon involved. Said you could use any gun, but they really didn't mean that, because they didn't really want you to use a 6 Sauer. But you can bring in your own handgun and you can use theirs. Most places have both. Like there, you see some of the military M16s there, the civilian version, and they bring their own in. She saw one of those.
Do they provide the ammo, or do you have to bring your own ammo, or what?
I think either. They typically, the stuff they provide is light loaded intentionally.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they limit you as to light loads, whether you bring it in. I supported one, our police training center, I supported their shooting range, so I got to see what was back there. And it's basically a bunch of chipped up tires in the back they're shooting into.
So that kills ricochets and so forth and so on, then I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to do.
So where is this range, Jim?
They're all over the place. We have probably 10 in Cincinnati area. And just look and say, find a shooting range near you. There's this one we went to was I think it was kind of toward the Tri-County area, 747 area.
I know there's one down Round Bottom Road in Newtown, which is at Round Bottom Road and 32. That's the closest. Then there's a private range that's just down the hill from us, and I hear that all the time in the summertime.
Most of these are indoor ranges. I wouldn't The one we went to, you wouldn't hear outside.
Oh, this one down the hill from us is definitely has an outdoor section, because you hear pop, 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 nothing. Pop, 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 nothing, and so forth and so on. And this happens in the summer, particularly in the late afternoons or early evenings. Well, it's still light, but in one of the places, one of my clients in California has a just down the street from it has a police shooting range. It's interesting. It's actually twofold. It is a canine training center and a police shooting range. And apparently what they do, I guess, is train the dogs with the guns so that the dog doesn't go apeshit the first time somebody fires a gun.
Oh, yeah. This one, we have one that the one I helped support was at Butler Tech. And they had fire training there also. They had the second story fire thing and the shooting. In fact, I was there and they had cops in there drinking. They wanted to show the effect of alcohol on
shooting.
On your accuracy of your shooting.
Yeah.
So this was strictly an experiment, right?
Absolutely.
They've done stuff like that before. Your video isn't on. There we go. Anyway,
Oh, he's worried about my video not being on, Art, because it's pointed at him.
no, I was doing something and I was like, why don't I see
Yeah, I
this?
don't see myself, and that's very important.
Why don't I see this? I'm trying to do something. That my youngest kid, he goes to the range all the time. I don't remember which one he goes to, but they know everybody that goes there. And he had a gun stolen out of his car, and they looked at the video and they said, "Oh, we know who that is." Cops went to his house and picked him up, and that was all that was wrote. And he's not welcome back to the range or anything else.
I sent my videos to the cops. Look out for this guy.
Yeah.
You mean these that you just took today?
Yeah, and you can tell the guy had where they had shaved his head. It looks like he'd had brain surgery or something. He had a couple of places cut out.
Maybe he just was confused about where he was.
And maybe so.
But you have random people show up in your driveway all the time.
I do. Well, I think they're scoping out the place seriously. We've had people walk in and look in the bay window. And I went and talked to that guy. He saw I had a weapon, and it's time for him to leave. He said, "Oh, we thought it was foreclosed on." Okay, bye.
Thought it was a what?
No, you thought it was property that was foreclosed on or something.
Okay.
I'm stupid now. Now I should be to the point. Just call the cops. I got their number. Just call the cops.
Just call the cops.
911. Anybody ask? I'm just going to call them and say there's a knucklehead in my front yard. And this is regular. I think they point at regular houses to do. They somehow know, try this place.
Well,
and
where your house is sitting is kind of an interesting spot in the first place.
Yeah. I've been trying to get the cops out there. I'd get to stop the trucks that you saw in that video. The trucks go through there, and people do whatever the hell they want up and down that road, and it just supports crime. It does.
Yeah, your house is a interesting location anyway.
Yeah.
But that, those pictures that I was trying to do, and then my phone crashed again. I finally got my doorbell camera put up on my door. So I 3D printed a mount. Actually, I modified somebody else's mount and stuck a magnet in it, and it's magnetized to the door. But
So a knowledgeable person could come and grab it off your door.
well, the magnet that I used is pretty good, but not quite good enough. So I ended up having to put sticky back tape on it anyway.
Okay.
So it would be, I think it would be a little bit harder to get off than just probably if they yanked on it really hard. But
Well, why don't you just put the black wire from the 110 on it?
part of the reason why I was looking for an alternate way to mount the stupid thing in the first place was, you know, we're in an apartment now and we not really supposed to drill holes and stuff. And drilling a hole in a metal door, I'm not real sure how I would fix that. I could fix drywall, but I'm not real sure how I would fix
Yeah.
a hole in metal.
The Argus 3K 2K 4 megapixel motion camera with the solar cell is $109.
That's from Amazon or from eBay?
That's from Reolink directly.
Oh, really? Okay.
At 3 o'clock this morning, I put the camera up on the door last night about midnight. 3 o'clock this morning, we had a visitor. It was a nice cat.
Oh, yeah.
Came up and laid on the railing.
I've got a driveway sensor that our cat uses to let us know he's ready to come in. So they drive by a cat, they rent a cat.
To bring the cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know where these cats come from. There's a bunch of cats.
So
I don't know why they want to come upstairs to sleep on. I guess they get an overview of what's going on.
oh, cats, I think in general, like to sit in a high place and so they can look down and,
Find the mouse. Find the mouse.
well, you know, they're basically hunters by, you know.
Yeah, I was actually, when I wasn't expecting it, but when we moved in, you know, their cats like living up there on that porch. We don't feed them. The lady downstairs feeds them, so
Oh, you got a cat.
Yeah, you feed them, you own them forever.
we have a neighborhood cat. We have a rent-a-cat.
Yeah, those rental cats are the best if you don't feed them.
Go away. Go downstairs and see your people that feed you.
But Foofers learned how to ring the doorbell. We were listening to the doorbell the other night. It was bling, 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 over and over again. Gail says she went down there and he was chasing a mouse on the front porch.
I have a feeling that that's what this cat was doing last night because he set off the camera several times. He
Yeah.
was chasing something.
Well, the first time Foofer came over, it was like it was below zero, and he was up in the windowsill knocking cameras off. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Our outdoor light stays on, you know, all night long. There's no switch for it. So there's plenty of light. So the camera actually did halfway decent.
So get the dust of dawn lamps like I got.
That's kind of what these are.
Yeah, those are very handy. They have the dust of dawn bulbs now, and those are great.
There's a on one side closer to the outer edge of the apartment. There's it's a light sensor. It's not PIR. It's just a potentiometer, a variable potentiometer or something. And then on the other side is the light. So when it starts to get a little dark, that the light comes on and it stays on all night long. And when the light comes, it turns itself off.
He's opening champagne. Stand back.
Well, this is,
Not champagne.
Not
Oh, okay.
champagne.
this is
Oh,
iced tea,
silver bullet.
okay?
He dropped the silver bullet. We pick on you. We pick on everybody. We don't. If we did, yeah, means we love you. Yeah. And plenty of love go around too.
So how's the library today? Is it fairly full or not?
Not too many people out
Yeah,
there. They're few. They're few. 2 over in the break area. 2 or 3.
really not as many as you would have thought.
It's getting the end
Is the
of
makerspace working now or not?
Yes, there are people in the makerspace.
But they're usually, this is after hours for makerspace. It's where after 5 is, you know.
Oh,
normally-
they only do what, like an 8 to 5 kind of a thing?
Pickles and Bones Barbecue.
Oh, yeah, that's a great place. A great barbecue.
It's not around here, is it?
No, it's on 131 at the corner of Wolf Pen Road. It is roughly straight east of me, probably 4 miles, 5 miles, something like that.
Yesterday was Taco Tuesday in, Freedom area over there.
Is it a sweet barbecue or is it?
Basically, they barbecue meat and you can have sauce on it or no sauce on it.
Okay.
But they do chicken, they do pork, they do beef, a lot of brisket. And they've got a whole series of barbecue, you know, these big mobile barbecue things that are big cylinders on wheels. You can tow around behind a truck. They have a series of those back of this place. And then they do, as I say, a lot of beef, a lot of pork, a lot of chicken. They also sell packaged meals like, you know, you get X number of ribs and either some kind of potato or some kind of coleslaw or whatever. Basically, it's like a packaged lunch thing. We like it a lot.
Okay. I see. It's about 19 miles away from here, from the library.
Well, I'm probably 15 miles from the library, I would guess, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
We had an incident over the weekend. One of the girls went to the Flying Pig, and they saw her there, and she left and she went to her daughter's in Kentucky, and she made it there, but she was supposed to go to the church after that, and she disappeared, and they couldn't find her. And she had called one of the girls in the group, and she was incoherent, and she didn't show up. So finally, they had the cops put out an APB on her and found her. She was unconscious in a shopping center down there. And that led us to this application, which is a map, which shows the current location of Gail. And also the current location of me but I happen to know where I am right now.
Well, that's good, Jim. I'm
Yeah,
glad-
you know, sometimes it's marginal out here, you know, when I forget my bag at 4 or 5 times, but it's free. And you just get both people to sign up and they both write to a location that you have access to and they control access to it. And there you go. And this one's for the family and you can add groups to it. You can add a whole bunch of people if you want to, and you can go in and delete them if you don't want to be part of the group again. But it is nice for people who are maybe reaching their mature years, nobody like me or Art, maybe Leroy. When you get to the more mature years, this is, and I've had a stroke, okay? So this would have been handy because she had an Apple phone and people buy the stupid Apple phones for that location feature, but you can do it for free on your Android. Just go and load it.
What's the name of the app?
Okay.
Just
The
toss
name of
it.
the app is,
If you got a link, just toss it in the chat.
okay, let me take a picture. It's a smiley faced woman. It's a family app, but there's several of them. And I understand all of them are pretty good.
20 guest minimum required delivery and setup included. Oh, that's for like catering. Never mind.
iSharing is the name of this one. The letter I, sharing. SHARING. And it's got a picture, a smiley face with hair. And it's very popular when you go to the app site.
Okay, I got it.
But that's just one of several. It's pretty popular. And these guys, they're free, and you're going to see an advertisement at the bottom when you use it. It's not bad, seems to be tolerable.
You know, let's face it, we've been seeing advertisements on TV for decades at this point. So advertisements aren't a big deal unless they're really intrusive. So I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, there it is.
So what was the story? This person was incoherent?
Yeah, she had the flying pig, and Gail saw her after the pig, and she was going to her daughter's in Kentucky, and she went to her daughter's, and then she was going, her daughter, they were going to have something at the church, and she was going to the church, and she disappeared, and she had called somebody in the group, and she was incoherent. And then,
You know what happened?
yeah, she had a stroke.
Oh, really?
And the police, they put out an APB and they found her in a parking lot, I guess, between where the daughter's house was and the church. And she had a stroke and they took her to the hospital. And they tried calling her back and she wouldn't answer the phone. She couldn't answer the phone. She was unconscious. The cops found her and took her to the hospital. And she's doing better now. She's got her speech back, and her short-term memory is a little spotty, but other than that, so far she's fine.
Wow. That's scary.
Yep. So there's that. And it's Vicente. We just
Hey,
talked about
Vicente.
the free location app, Vicente. You can tell the location of everybody in the family.
Excuse me, I was without audio.
Oh,
What were you talking?
Can you hear us?
Yep.
Okay.
No.
We can hear you.
Yeah. You hear me?
Yep. You're
Okay.
good.
Great. What's going on?
and there's a go into chat, you'll see a a link to the app that I use, and it's voluntary, it's free. Everybody goes in and says, share this app with this person. And then the person gets the email and says, okay, share it. I'll share my location with you. And so then you go to your app and you I push on Gale, and it shows me the map and where Gale is. Okay.
You might have to refresh that. Can you see that, Vicente?
No.
The chat.
He came on after you posted that.
probably.
So you have to refresh it.
Here, I'll send it again. There you go.
Now, okay.
Easy enough.
Now I have it.
And you can do a history. You can track them and to watch your path, but that's money. It's $14.99 a month. And guess which one I'm with? I'm with the free one, and I get advertisements. So she can keep track of Vicente. I don't know if she wants to know where Vicente is all.
Well, so basically what this is doing is tracking the location of your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your phone writes to the file every so often. And when you move, I notice when Gail's coming home, I get a notice that Gail's in the zone. Okay.
I am using another app for the family where you can see all the members of the family where they are in Google Maps all the time.
Okay.
Something similar, I think.
Yeah.
So is this an Android app?
Yeah, Android,
Vicente?
yeah. Well, I don't know if you can use it in iPhone, but it's
Yeah.
the name is Live 360 in Android. Android Live 360.
Okay.
I think it's similar.
You're not likely to find a bunch of Apple users in this group, except the ones that get their phones for free.
They offer a lot of services, but the main thing is free, you know, but they are offering insurance and a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let me show you.
Oh, yeah. Vicente,
Second.
What's this?
This is the
Life 360.
Yeah.
safety membership. So you
You can get the speed limit they're driving at, or
Yes.
speed driving at, and all kinds of things.
yes. It shows you the speed, the location, how long have been this member in this location, and what's the route between points that he made. So you have a lot of information. I have the free option, you know, but you can have gold is like 10 bucks monthly. I don't know what they offer. Alerts, crime reports, SEOS help.
Google Maps will do this too.
Yeah, but they report crash detection. If any member crash or something, let me increase the. Can you see the today's location history? To place alerts, you want to create an alert if your daughter cross a border or something in the.
If she's at her boyfriend's house.
Yeah. Just spot the boyfriend's house on there.
No, I mean you say you establish a perimeter, I think. But in this case, it's a point. Maybe I don't know, casino or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh,
The
Free-
crash detection probably would be useful.
Emergency assistance. They offer the paying option. They add the unlimited place alerts, crime reports, roadside assistance, 5 miles free towing.
I'm hardly ever within 5 miles, and if I was within 5 miles of my house, I would probably just walk home.
I think
Get
it's,
the car and walk home.
Yeah.
and there is the other one more expensive, the $20 a month. More of everything, I think. Nothing special.
Well, crash detection would happen every time I drop my phone, huh?
Crash detection might actually be pretty useful.
Your plan. I don't know if it works with iPhone.
I'm sure it works with.
Yeah, maybe something. Yes, actually works because I am the only one that has an Android in the family. So, of course, it works.
That's embarrassing. Yeah.
Why?
You're all frou-frou, the family's all frou-frou, and you got the old techie one, the poor folks phone, yeah, man.
Yeah. Google Maps says that people you share your location with can see your name and photo, your real-time location across Google services, even when you're not using maps. And where you've recently been, how you're traveling, such as driving or walking, your device info, such as battery power, or your places such as home or work. So as far as I know,
This app knows my battery power because it's always worrying me about the battery power. Hey, it's not your problem. What are you doing?
Your battery is dying. Your
Yes.
battery is dying.
Recharge.
Oh, here's my new camera, Vicente, look.
This is a
Solar
an
cell.
antenna or is a photo cell?
Solar cell. It's wire free.
Oh, wow.
There's a solar cell for it. There are no wires to it. There's no power supply.
Great.
Except the solar cell.
What's the resolution?
It's 4 meg.
4 meg. And
Yeah, this is the latest Rio Link. It's the Rio Link Argus 3. It's 109 from Rio Link with the solar panel. And it does support 5 megapixel art, or 5 megahertz art.
Oh, right. Really? That's great.
yeah, I like it.
So how do you, there is some kind of a mounting bracket for the solar cell as well, or not?
Yes, it's got a standard whatever inch brass.
Oh, okay. You're talking about,
Yeah.
there's a camera mount on both then.
And it comes with 2 mounting brackets. This one, which is really, it just sits in there. You pull it off.
Is this
Yeah.
one? Let me show you something. Is this one real link or this is a?
That one is a 2K. Mine's a 4 megabit. I don't know if that's the same one.
Yeah, 2K, yeah.
There's a 4K also.
Okay. How much is yours?
I bought a used one, of course. So mine was 75.
Oh.
So they're about 109. You need 109 and you get the 4 megapixel job.
Mm.
I don't know if that's a 4 meg there.
This is the new model.
And this one has a built-in spotlights.
This is the 4
4
megapixels.
megapixel. Okay,
Megapixel.
2.4 megapixel. Okay.
Oh, I like this one in black.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
connect it to Wi-Fi, right? Your Wi-Fi.
It's yes, Wi-Fi. They are advertising the cell phone things too, and they do some YouTubes on them, and they're a couple of $100. They're like 200.
So what about the distance from your Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I remember I've got an extender outside, so I get good distance. I have about 150 feet to my back camera, 150, and it's solid. The cameras and the Rio Links are using new technology, and it's pretty good.
So Jim, are you using the 5 gig or the 2.4 gig?
I set it up for the 5 gig. If I use it in the backyard, I'll probably go to 2.4 because I've got a repeater out there.
Hey, there's a cat.
I got an access point stuck in the backyard. So if I use it in back, I'll swap it to the 2.4 gigahertz because my repeater is just 2.4. But my front yard, my router is right near the front.
Okay, you don't.
But they got using new technology for the antennas. They can kind of aim them. It's pretty good.
So you aim them at your router then?
I will check that.
It really doesn't aim it. It actually adjusts the direction. It can change the direction that it's.
Those 3D antennas are pretty good.
So they're basically using some kind of antenna array, and
Yeah,
they can.
yeah, and they seem to be pretty good. This guy had store up to 256 gig on the SD card.
Oh,
Asking for.
He looks hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get some more peanuts?
it's sad.
I have no more. I forgot to buy more. Sorry.
Gee,
Come on.
poor dog.
Yeah, the married people need dogs or something to get some affection from. Just saying. I got cats. It's even worse. I got cats, man. That is desperate.
This one used to work around the property. There are no fences, but he knows where the border is, and he walks around all the time, barking if necessary, whatever.
Well, most of my neighbors who have dogs have these buried in the ground fences
Yeah.
that they use to train the dogs. And then after the dog is trained,
Yeah.
apparently they can shut them down.
Well, this one was training to the fence in the other house. So when I move here, I use a lot of white flags to mark the border. And he thought that there is another wire in this property.
Oh, so you didn't.
Yes, I didn't. Yes, I just pretend. And he now, after 2 years, he just stay inside all the time. You know.
Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah. And now there are no flags. After 2 weeks later, I removed the flags, and now he moves around safely.
Oh, there's Leroy's camera.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, Leroy's doing that technology where the camera has such a wide viewing angle and high resolution, it moves around the area, but it doesn't, his camera doesn't move.
Moves
That's
in the field,
Okay.
in the view field, it moves.
Yeah. And with these new ones, with the 4s and above, you can do that. You can like move around in it and
This-
zoom around in it.
This is the doorbell camera, and that's our 3 o'clock,
Visitor, oh,
our
okay.
3 o'clock visitor who is obviously looking for something. Set off the trigger at 3 o'clock in the morning.
He's probably looking for a midnight snack.
That was me at 1:27. I opened the door. I don't know why I opened the door at 1:27, but I did. And that was me probably putting the camera up because it's alive the whole time. It caught my neighbor going downstairs, so it's working. The camera you're talking about, oh, we gotta be careful because Patty's home. I don't know what she's doing. Oh,
Yeah, she could have a boyfriend there. Yeah.
we could look at the computer right now.
And that's got the fisheye thing.
And there it goes. And we could do this, which should,
Oh, it's a fisheye camera. Okay.
and then it will start scanning the room. Which there's so much junk in my room that the camera's behind, so it doesn't really provide any security in this room.
Are those 33 and third albums there?
That is a stack of comic books.
Wow.
Okay.
That is video games. That is Hot Wheels cars. That's a 3D printer. It's just so much junk.
Well, see, that camera doesn't move. That's the funny thing. It's just
Yeah, the
amazing.
camera isn't moving, but I can use my finger and I can move it where I want to see. So I could look down or up or over, and I could kind of zoom by pinching.
Yeah, that's pretty good resolution to zoom that.
Yep, it is.
It's a fake zoom, but I can zoom and then I can look at the whole entire room.
Yeah.
It's a digital zoom. Yeah.
Nice.
So those are decent, cheap cameras. I got those bought them in a kit that came with a Google Home. Came with one camera and one Google Home. I think it was $30. So it was cheap. It was really cheap.
Yeah, there you go.
And it's an Altic Lansing is the name brand of them. And Altic Lansing didn't make either the Google Home thing or the camera. They just stuck their names on it because they can.
So they're just acting as a distributor for these things?
It's just a rebranded, I forget. I remember I looked up who actually made the camera. You know how companies will rebrand stuff, especially some of that stuff that, gets made in mass.
Yeah, it's called private labeling.
Yeah, so I forget who actually made the camera, but when I looked it up, when I was standing in Walmart and I looked up who it was, I was fairly impressed with the company, and I was like, I can't believe they're selling them for $30 because the cameras were like $70 cameras. So, but I think they're only 1080p. I mean, it's older technology at this point, but it still works.
Yeah. Or
Well, if you're talking about
Yeah.
you're talking about a security camera, you're not looking to make a world-class photograph. You're
Yeah.
looking to
Catch somebody.
Yeah, see what's going on.
And it's actually, they're actually fairly decent resolution. You know, I can zoom in, I can look around. And it's 306, well, it's not really 300, it's a fake 360 degrees. They call it 360 degrees, but it's top to bottom and left to right. So it's 180 degrees in this direction and 180 degrees up and down.
Okay.
So so it's a fake 360 degree camera.
Well, there's a certain amount of poetic license in all marketing.
Well, yeah, I looked at that and kind of went, oh, that's not really what they're talking about, is it? The 180 degrees horizontal and 180 degrees vertical.
Need to get the Ministry of Truth on that one.
Making 360 degrees. But it's a decent enough camera. I don't have SD cards in it, so it only triggers to the app. And if I set to that I'm away, it actually triggers really fast. But you know, I don't have the SD cards in it, so I lose something in translation. So even if it triggers, I'm probably not going to catch the person.
So what is the what's the max size SD card you can use?
I honestly don't know. These are a couple years old, so maybe 128. I think at this point they're 3 years old, so maybe 128.
Okay.
I honestly don't remember because I never stuck an SD card in them. I don't think the app tells me either.
Well, I think you convinced me to buy your camera and solar cell there, Jim, because what I've wanted to do for a long time is put a camera out on a post close to my back fence looking at the house.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And the problem with cameras that are on the house and looking outward is there are blind spots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas if you stand back from the house with the camera, you can kind of see the whole, whichever face you're facing on the house, the back or the sides or the front or whatever. And I wanted to do that for a long while, but you know, that involved either laying a cable across my backyard and to a post or whatever. But that solar cell approach is a really nice approach. So the camera we're looking at here, the front porch camera, is that one of the same brand, same style?
Yeah, that's a Reolink. It's a powered one, Wi-Fi powered, and you get that for $40. That's a 4 megapixel. Now you're only seeing part of the picture here. The reason I'm doing this is picture in a picture. Those 4 screens you see at the top are 4 separate cameras, but they're brought into this one frame. If you want one frame to look at what's happening in the front yard, that's it. There's a driveway, and then there's the next one on the top is the car cam, And the third one is, that's the street cam that dropped out. That's the walkway. And the fourth one is the garage. So you can look at one picture and see what's going on. That street cam's going away. I think I have the new camera today. The street cam's old. And it's an indoor camera. So now this is, with iSpy, you also have that at the bottom, you have of what's going on. Okay, you see all those pictures at the bottom?
Yep.
The one on the left is the latest one that's triggered. And that's 4 layers down. You can scroll down and you can bring, there are 4 of those, at least 4 of those rows, and you can bring those up so you can see what's happened for the hours. And it's all live. You go click on those and see what's happening. And so this is what's happening. So that's a nice feature that iSpy has. And now they have, you can see this guy here. That's the one that has the pictures inbound. And the thing about these pictures and the pictures, there is basically no overhead for that. I mean, it's really free. And all the cameras, to set that up, you just go and the first setup screen, you do picture in a picture, and you select the one you want to add, and you say add, and you can drop it anywhere in that frame and make it any size you want to make it. And it's really nice. It's a really nice feature they put in iSpy. I hadn't noticed it, but I said, what would you use that? And Reolink, they've added one that you can look at a picture and it'll swap between the cameras. It rotates the cameras through. So a little bit.
So it's like a slideshow?
Yeah. But Reolink, that's their free software that comes with it. It doesn't have a priority though. It just goes from screen to screen, but it's really nice because you get to see in detail every frame, every camera that you put in the list. So Reolink's done a good job of their software is getting better. They're starting to slightly come close to, there goes one of the cats in the kitchen. This kitchen camera here, there's a camera embedded in it. That right there is a picture of the front door. You can kind of see the front door anyway. But I'm looking at the back of a TV there. So I just put the front door, embedded it into that picture.
Mm-hmm.
So really nice stuff. I'm impressed. So, and that's free iSpy, and it doesn't run, I know it doesn't run on, Linux. And the Reolink is, they're coming, everybody's coming up with new stuff. It's amazing.
Well, I think isn't ZoneMinder a sort of Reolink for Linux?
I don't know.
ZoneMinder was.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I used that before. I thought I used that on Windows.
I believe there's a ZoneMinder version for Windows and for Linux and for Mac.
But iSpy's got everything you can dream of. You can limit the number of hours that you keep a picture around. You can limit the disk space for each camera. You can also say when you purge it to an archive area. It is just insane the things they do. And it's free.
So,
It just slays me.
ZoneMinder for Ubuntu, Red Hat, Debian, Source, mobile app, and Windows. Oh,
And I
wait.
think it has many of the features that.
It says ZoneMinder does not run on any and is incompatible with all versions of Windows. And we have no plans to support Windows. Okay. Why would you even put it there? Fooling me. It's a PPA for Ubuntu, and you may install it from source for something else. I don't see specifically what the features of it are though, other than being free and open source. NVR, DVR system available. It's probably worth trying since you're running Linux, though, right?
Yep.
My concern is the distance between your router and the camera, you know.
Well, I have a extender out in the backyard.
Okay.
And has
Which one? You have a brand or something?
I have TP-Link. It's a TP-Link extender, and it's a wire. I run a wire to it, and it's a 2.4 gigahertz. You can get 5 gigahertz, but it's a 2.4 gigahertz extender to cover my backyard. We got acres out there.
So that's like an access point, a remote access point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the TP-Link version. It was like $50.
Is for outdoor?
What?
Wi-Fi extender. I'm looking for TP-Link extenders in Amazon. Is there anyone for outdoor?
Yeah, it's outdoor. It has a RJ45 on the bottom of it. Just run a cable to it and boom, that's it. You can, there are a couple of options, but it's pretty brain dead. You just run a cable off of your router to it, and it has not failed me at all ever. It's solid, and it made my camera at the barn solid.
Wow.
So is that 2.4 only, or is that 5 as well?
No, they have a 5 gigahertz version, but you know how I am. And my camera at the time was 2.4, and I still have quite a few 2.4s.
Up to 200 meters.
Yeah, I'm running about 100, and it's about 150 feet. Yeah. And I've got one in the barn that's definitely 150 inside the barn, metal building at 150 feet. So, and yeah, so the repeater works fine, no problem. The access point, it's a TP-Link. You can find them used. They're brain dead. They're really easy to use. That's why I can.
So now with your barn, you've got one inside your barn?
I've got a camera inside and outside, but I've got the access point is behind the house.
Oh, so it's not inside the barn. Okay.
Right.
So if it's a metal barn, boy, I'm kind of surprised it penetrates to the interior camera.
I am too. There are a couple of windows, but not big windows, but it works fine. It's solid. I mean, it's solid.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And this is 2.4.
Yep, 2.4. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, everything on the back side of the house, because my router's on the front side, everything on the back side of my house points to the guy in the backyard. It's solid. It makes the back side of the house solid, and downstairs and everything.
So you have that up on a post, or where is it?
Yep. I actually put a PVC pipe and a pipe inside a pipe to make it about 8 foot tall, and it covers everything in the back.
Well, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, me too.
Because the idea of having a camera that sits back at the back lot line and looks at the back of the house or the side of the
Yeah.
house or whatever.
Yeah,
That's very attractive.
yeah. And that one's a refurb for $75, and that's, 109. That's not bad.
So you bought that on eBay, or where'd you get
Yep.
the ref?
eBay refurb from a highly rated seller, 99. Bam. It was in the original box. Everything was there.
And it still had the plastic on it until a few minutes ago.
Yeah, it still had this. It was in the original box, just like new. The seal was broken, but other than that, I couldn't tell it had been opened.
See,
Yeah,
the
still got
plastic's still on it.
Still got the plastic still on the solar cell. But I get, my E1 Pro cameras, the E1 Pros, they're $40, and they include 5 megahertz link and 2.4 and the 4 gigapixel or 4 megapixel, excuse me. And they go to at least 64 gig on the SD cards. And they're all use the same software, which is great. And that one has a spotlight. And that's the 3, Argus 3.
So now, can you adjust the amount of time the spotlight will stay on before with no
I didn't
motion?
notice an adjustment. The maximum was 108 seconds, I think 180 seconds.
It just went out. So it
But
wasn't on very long.
It comes on, it has to see something to turn on, I think. But, and I'm not sure you can turn it on manually, but that's
Well,
something I gotta check.
I'm kind of doing it.
Yeah,
I'm faking it. So it's still on.
So it gets turned on by motion?
yeah, it's a PIR, which all those Ring cameras must be PIR, otherwise they'd be going off like crazy. And even a cat would do a PIR though, as we've seen. Darn cats.
That wasn't, that camera's not a PIR camera.
Oh, okay.
I'm not real sure how that works because it doesn't have any other sensors on it.
So it must be strict motion then.
Yeah. There, it just went out. So it really wasn't on for very long.
But those are LEDs, it's just not like they're, the 120 watt equivalent, 100 watt equivalent bulb uses 7 watts on a LED. So it's not like they're drawing 100 watts or something. It does have the talk. The talk feature, they have on all of them now, but talk seemed to be okay, better than the others, really. But the real links, you can buy the used stuff. The E1 Pros, which come with 5 gigahertz link and 4 megahertz, 4 meg picture, you can pick those up for $40-45 any day on eBay, used. But new, they're like, $50. They're not that bad. And you can buy them directly from Reolink for, we saw, good price.
The Kangaroo doorbell camera is $20. I paid $20 for it.
Yeah.
They were asking 25 for it, and I said, "I'll give you $20."
Yeah.
So where did you get that, Leroy?
Flea market in Monroe. Treasure Isle Flea Market. There's a seller out there. Apparently he must be a semi-dealer of them or something. He's got a couple of them sitting there. And he still has a few of them sitting there. I bought mine like a year ago. So it's not a company I had ever heard of, and I just saw it and I said, well, a doorbell camera for $25. That's cheap enough.
Now, is that battery operated or?
It is. It uses three. It actually comes with three AA batteries. And the same three AA batteries have been in it for a year or about a year.
Are those alkaline or lithium ion?
Yeah, they're just standard batteries, alkaline. So no recharging. But I was looking to see if I could see how it knows its wake up, how it knows to wake up. It's not the fastest thing to wake up. So for a doorbell camera, it's probably okay, but for a security camera, it's probably not the best thing in the world.
Well, it picked up the cat at 3 a.m. in the morning, so.
Yeah, but the question is how long was the cat there before it actually knew
Oh,
that the cat was
okay.
there?
True.
Because it also saw my neighbor leave, but it didn't catch my neighbor until he was halfway down the steps. So,
Oh, okay. So there might be a serious delay there.
yeah, but if you ring the doorbell and you want to see who's at your door, it might be all right. I mean, I also set the, it was triggering a lot. It's got 3 trigger levels and it comes out of the package at extreme triggering or whatever, and it was triggering way too much. And so I set it to average triggering. So there doesn't really look like there's settings in between. There's either slow, really slow triggering, average triggering, or extreme triggering. So I'm thinking that mine should probably be set somewhere between average and extreme, where average is too slow and extreme is too much. But I think that's a software problem, and I don't see anything that actually says how this thing wakes up.
Is there any way to hack it?
Oh, I'm sure there is. I was actually kind of almost thinking that it was an ESP32 device, because I opened it up to look, but I don't see anything that says ESP32 on it anywhere either. So, but I was thinking that that's probably what this thing actually is. It's an ESP32 camera with in a fancy package for $25 or $20.
Yeah, for people who like that sort of thing, it's getting out. That's hobbies turning cheap, thank goodness.
It's decent. It's not. I want to put it up. I mean, I want to put it up against the real links or anything, but for what it does and what it's supposed to do, it's decent. You know, you hit the doorbell button and the doorbell goes bing bong, and then you go and you answer the door.
So does it have a remote chime?
Yes, it does. The remote, you plug the remote chime in, but it'll also ring if somebody rings the doorbell, it'll also ring on my phone. Now,
But
the one-
the remote chime in the house is a plug-in unit.
Yes, yes. And the one thing that I have already, I mean, it's only really been up on the door overnight, but I've already gotten really annoyed because when I open the door myself, it triggers. And I'm like, okay, I know it's going to trigger. So I don't really see a way to turn that off. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. But if I'm walking out the door, I don't need to know that I'm walking out my door. It would be nice if I could turn that feature off while I'm in the house or something, or turn that feature off until I get to the car and turn it back on. But it is what it is. And it was $20. So I guess you can't ask for the world for $20. I could try though.
Yeah.
When it triggers, it is pretty fast, and it really, it's almost as soon as I opened the door, it triggered and my phone went off, and I'm like, yeah, that's fast enough. I mean, whether or not I can open the app that fast is another question, but it records, 5 or 6 frames of video for purposes. I've never used a Ring or the Nest camera, doorbell camera. So I don't know how it would really compare to a Ring or a Nest.
Does anybody have experience with Wi-Fi thermostats?
Had one at one of the old houses I lived in, but I don't know
what brand do you know? Was it like Honeywell or something like that, or
Ecobee?
SOB?
Ecobee.
Ecobee.
Ecobee. I think what's the name of it?
I've got a brand name one. And I'm a little upset because it doesn't have the feature that my old one had. And the feature was, it tell you how long it's run that day. Kenny's got a Honeywell. And it was a little quirky, but it's okay.
I've got a Honeywell on my house in California, but I tried to put one on the house here, and you can do that. The problem is the app can only address one thermostat. So I guess we could set it up so that my wife's phone would address the one here, and my phone would address the one in California. But the point is, you can't, apparently, at least the model I have, you can't simultaneously have it connect to 2 different thermostats, which I found to be really annoying.
That seems like a huge disadvantage.
Yeah, that's the way I looked at it. However, the good news is that my air conditioning technician was working on it a couple of weeks ago, and apparently it died on the operating table, so to speak. So it's the one that's here is dead, and he replaced it with a non-Wi-Fi one. And so basically I have to have my daughter come in and flip from heat to air conditioning as the season change, but that's no big deal. She comes in periodically anyway when we're not here.
I don't know if the Ecobee software would let you have two of them. What I do know was you could actually make the house smart. You could put smart registers in and smart thermostats in every room.
Yeah.
So there would be the main thermostat, and then you could zone it off. So, if nobody was in a room, it could control the registers and just close those registers off and not even heat that area. Or
So
cool that area.
we had a mechanical thing that would,
Close the registers.
did
Yeah,
you
I've
need
got the-
special registers for it, or would it close any register?
You were supposed to buy a replacement cover for the vent. So you put this new levered vent on there that was smart, but you could get little zone indicators that would tell you what the temperature was in that zone, and you could set that zone individually for an individual thing. It was a smart system.
How was how were the registers
Well,
powered?
we never got that far. I was going to set it up and then we had to move. So
They
I don't know
have-
how they were powered.
They have dampers. I've got one that's a 24 volts AC, and it's a little flapper, and it has open and close. It has a motor
Mhm.
that runs all the time. There's a synchronous motor, and it has a clutch in it. And if you turn it on, it closes the damper, and you turn it off, and it has a spring return that opens it. I see those advertised all over the place, but I haven't seen the 24 volt DC ones. This is 24 volts AC, which is, they use AC for most of the heat control.
Oh, yeah. The standard thermostat going back into the 50s, thermostat control system is actually they're typically 28 volts, but they're AC because that makes it dead simple. You just turn on or turn off an AC. So you have a transformer and then a relay to turn it on or off.
I'm actually thinking that these smart levers, smart registers that I saw advertised for this system were meant for new installs, not meant for retrofits.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, you got to run power to them is the
Yeah,
problem.
that's why when I was reading about them, that's why I thought that sounds more like a new install where you're going to have electric ran right along with the vent. But
Mhm.
it seemed like a pretty good system, and the idea that you could put individual zones, each room could be controlled individually, kind of tells me that the software would at least support individual thermostats within the house.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So, and I know that, I was down here at the library and it was a hot day, and just before we left, I told the thing to turn on the AC. I was coming home, and by the time I got home, the house was nice and cool. So
Mhm.
I mean, it was a nice system that I kind of miss. But Ecobee was the brand name now.
ECOB, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
I noticed that the little burglar alarm systems I got, I just bought them, and they're the home variety, the Tuya home. So they're compatible with Tuya, who are my internet IoT controllers. So now when I put in the security system, they joined Tuya home.
Mm-hmm.
So now they pop up under, and I've got two different security systems, and they both pop up under home life. Pretty cute.
I actually sit down this week and not only did I 3D print a holder for my doorbell camera, I've messed with a robot for the first time in probably a year.
Really?
Yeah.
Good news.
Do what?
Good news.
Good news, yeah.
You're back.
Which robot was it, Leroy?
It was one of the Mecham wheel robots. It's not going to work for the purpose that I wanted it to work, but the bigger one, the one that's got the LiDAR built onto it, might actually do what I want it to do. You remember that little tiny Mecham wheel one that I had? From M5 Stack made it, had the little thing. It didn't have any encoders or anything, so it kind of drifted a little bit. Well, I was reading some articles about neural networks and controlling robots with neural networks, and I said, okay, let's try it with this thing. And it's not quite what I wanted it to do. But the bigger one, because it's got the spinning LiDAR on it, I think I can set up at least 2 neurons and have it learn on its own instead of programming a pattern for it. So I'm going to try that this week, but I sat there for a couple hours playing around with it. Kind of went, this isn't really what I wanted to do. This isn't really working. So I played around with some neuro network learning just using an Arduino, which, you know, you've only got 2K worth of space to play with, so it doesn't learn a lot. It learns about 2K worth of stuff. Actually, a whole lot less than that because the program takes up a lot of space. But I was able to modify that network to get it to run simulations a lot longer or run them a lot faster. So I learned a little bit, not much, but I learned a little bit by doing that.
Okay, we've got the drone that flies with no propellers.
Yeah, I was reading about that.
They've got a video. Let's see if I can get it here. Oh, Mike.
Interesting.
In actual fact, there are fans or propellers. They're just encased in something so that they're not exposed.
No, there are no fans. Let's see, I'll show you this one. I was surprised to share.
What are they using to
I'll
generate
show you.
lift?
I'll show you.
Okay.
At first I thought they were propellers, but they're not. Share.
They're using some kind of ion thing to
Yeah.
move the air. I love the name of that thing.
Ion propulsion system. That's it. There are no propellers.
Okay.
So they're ionizing the air to make it move, basically.
They're shifting charges back and
Yeah.
forth.
Yeah.
See it bounce when it hits. That's funny.
Huh.
Undefined technologies. Okay.
How,
No propellers, and yet it flies.
it can't be very heavy.
Oh no, it's pretty light. It's newer technology.
Look this one. Look this.
Roswell. It's the Roswell flight crew.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this is going to be. They're going to try to talk us to death.
Yep.
And there it is.
Okay.
Very interesting.
There it is. Okay. No propellers.
So they're charging one side and then charging another side?
They're switching. I'm sure they're switching the
So it's
charges back and forth.
like a,
this.
like
Oh,
a,
boink, 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 boink.
that looks like
There's
a
a propeller
fan.
in the middle, isn't it? Yeah.
That looks like a fan.
Yeah. There could be.
That's just a cooling fan for the power supply.
Oh yeah.
That's
Sure.
not giving them any lift.
No propellers, and yet it flies. Okay.
A little bit bulky.
Yeah, but it looks like it would be incredibly lightweight
It is. And
and
that's the problem.
it won't haul much. I mean,
Nope.
its lifting capacity would be almost nothing, right?
Yep. Yeah. And that's what they're working on.
I mean, I like the idea of it.
Well, it's just technology, seeing what they can do. It's not ready for prime time.
Wow.
Let's see, what else do we have in the news? This is in the news. Oh, the telescope alignment is complete.
Yeah.
Somebody asked about it. And they're talking about Wi-Fi 7 wiping out everything else, much wider bandwidth. They got the 6 gigahertz stuff. And this is going to extend the 6 gigahertz stuff.
Wi-Fi stuff.
Wi-Fi 7.
I'm not even out of Wi-Fi 4 or whatever it is.
Now, the latest routers that they're shipping now are 6. They include 6.
Well, that's not what Time Warner gives us or Spectrum.
Yeah, well, they're way behind.
Well,
The last big technology shift with routers, none of my old computers would connect to the new routers. It's so funny. It was,
Two
it
minutes.
was sad. It was sad funny. It was.
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna have to shut down here in like a second.
So now I'm up to my latest battle with Spectrum. I got, guess what, a new router. a new modem, okay. And now I'm up to 240. Yeah, so I'm there.
Yeah, whatever they did to their system. Everything's back to normal.
Is that the spec that you're supposed to have, Jim? Or
200 is supposedly, but I'm up to 240.
Yeah, whatever upgrade they did in our area has really made a difference because mine jumped back up. I mean, it was slow for a while and then it jumped back up and I'm fine. So, anyway, I'm shutting down, guys.
Okay,
Bye, y'all.
see you all.
well, take care. See you next week.
Bye.
Hopefully we'll be around next week.
Well, let's think positive, okay?
I'm trying. I'll see you guys.
Bye.
Take care. Bye now.